Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. I apologize for the audio right now because I don't got my mic, and I'm away on. Sure, I gotta try to get this light right. All right, this will do. So here we are. I'm hotel living right now. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm back at it. And I told y'all I'll be back doing my thing, and here I is, and here I am. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are tuning in for the first time, it's the Buffalo Fanatics. It's your boy Rico, back at it again. Bing, biggity, bing. We doing it. So, to further go ahead and chat more about our segment of POP or PPOP, because now we talking about projects now. Because I think that it's necessary to just not put people in a bubble and say we out. Right? I would love DeMarcus Robinson. We're going to talk about that. But let me get into what our receiver looks like, our receiver room. So we are doing the project or problem, or are you a process guy, right? So we're going to figure out who on this roster right now is part of the process, who is a problem, and who just needs a little more time in the slow cooker. And that's what it is. So welcome back, tuning in to the POP. So let's get right into it. We are going to get into the segment of the receivers. We've done the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the tight ends. We are now in the receiver room. So shout out to everybody tuned in. Sean Woods, I see you. Tack Attack, I see you, my G. Bada Bing Crosby's here in the building. Sam Mazza, I hope you guys can hear me. The audio is not as great, but we're going to do it, and we're going to do what we do. So here's the deal, people. The receiver room, it's slim. It is slim. We've only got 3 receivers that are on contract right now. Excuse me, that's a lie. We've got 6 receivers on contract right now, right? John Brown at $9.7 million. We've got Cole Beasley at $7 million. We've got Andre Roberts at $2 million. To me, those are the big 3 that we have on our team that are going to be here for sure this coming off season, right? Now, the bottom of the half, or the bottom portion of the receiving room, is Ray McLeod. I'm going to talk on that. We're going to get into Duke Williams. I'm going to talk on that. And my man, Nick Easley. By the way, shout out to my guy, Blue Comet. Hey, Rico, I was wondering if there is a way to transfer my membership badge status to my new account. Is that possible? Ooh, that's a good question. Let me look into that, my G. I got to look into that. Hit me up on the side, and then we'll talk about that because I haven't had someone switch over. But let's talk about that. I'm going to try to look into that, and we'll get back to you. Richard Catarina. I see you, bro. Mike Solo, what's going on, man? Man, what's going on? So, John Brown, Cole Beasley, Andre Roberts, Ray McLeod, Duke Williams, and Nick Easley. You probably don't even know who Nick Easley is, but I'll put you guys on game. So, here's the deal. We are coming into a crucial offseason that the draft is going to be deep at receiver. We need to upgrade the receiver room. We do. Although I love John Brown, although I love Cole Beasley, and some of the guys that round out the rest of the receiving crew, we are in need to bolster the receiving room, especially because we have we have a young quarterback that is up and coming, that is developing, and that can turn into a star in this league. But you've got to help your stars. We know that. We can't be playing games and try to give him the bottom feed type of receivers and expect him to use his athletic ability all day, every day. You just can't do it. There's going to be times where you got to sit behind the damn O-line, which is a very decent O-line, and sling that rock. Nick Easley, the receiver? Yes, Nick Easley, the receiver, Lamar Odo. So we've got to be able to do that. We can't have Josh Allen running all day. Not that I don't like it, because I love it. That's part of his game. But we pay the man to throw the rock, and you need receivers on the other end to catch that football. And that's what we are here to talk about today. So let's get right into it. The main man on our team right now is John Brown, right? John Brown's the first 1,000-yard receiver we've had since, if my memory serves me correct, Stevie Johnson. By the way, Blue Comment, I see you, man. I see you, my G. So he is the first receiver since we've had for a long time that's hit 1,000 yards, right? So kudos to that. And a lot of times people poo-poo on my guy John Brown as if he's a second fiddle receiver. He's a second tier receiver, third tier at best. And they're saying that, oh, he overdid himself this year. That's the chatter. Oh, that's not typically what he does. We got more than we expected out of John Brown. Maybe that's just the tip of what we're going to get from John Brown. Maybe he's going to get better with the second year. with the same quarterback in the same system, maybe he's destined for more. He just needs a little bit of spice to go along with what he brings to the Bills, right? So that being said, John Brown, $9.7 million. If by chance we wanted to move on from John Brown, we could, but the dead cap hit would be $3.2 million. We ain't trying to do that. There would be no reason for us to let him go. There is just no reason, right? So he's sticking on our team. Richard Catalina, should we draft a receiver at 22? I may get into that because that's part of my notes. I'm not for drafting receiver at 22, though. I waver back and forth because I know that we need something, but at the same time, we could get so much in the second and third round. So maybe we might have to chill on taking the 22nd pick and use it at a receiver. I'm just saying, but we don't know that just yet, but let me get into this, right? So what does John Brown bring to the table? What does he bring to the table? Let me kind of give you guys a little something of what I thought, right? So first 1,000-yard receiver in a minute. So right now he's put himself up there. He was going to get there with Baltimore until the rookie in Lamar Jackson came in and kind of messed up the dynamic a little bit. But MVP of the league right now, I told you so. But anyway, that's just another day, another dollar, right? So first 1,000-yard receiver in a long time. He's our go-to receiver. That's what it comes down to. He's the guy. 70 plus receptions. I think he had like 72 receptions this year, if I remember correctly. Over 1,000 yards. So he's our guy, right? And there was chemistry between him and Josh Allen, and we've got to see that develop even more this upcoming season and this offseason, especially going into the second year, both receiver and quarterback coming back and under the same offensive coordinator. We don't see any changes happening there. Okay, that's number one. Number two, he's our speed threat, right? There's no question about it. He's a 4.3, 4.4 guy. He can get downfield. We've seen it before, time and time again. He hasn't just done it with Buffalo. He's done it with the Cardinals. He did it with the Ravens. So he is our speed guy. We just need that chemistry to get even stronger between him and Josh Allen. Okay, that's number three. He can't just, and the one thing that I gotta say, it's all not great and all that good stuff, but he's got to be more consistent in being available, right? You can't disappear, right? And when I say this, you can't be, if you're going to be our guy, our number one guy, you can't disappear. You've got to be present at all times for your receiver. You can't have the fourth, fifth depth guy getting more targets than you. I don't care if you get double teamed or whatever. Go to your offense coordinator and say, yo, put me in the slot. Put me this, put me there. Get me the ball if I'm supposed to be your best damn receiver and you pay me $9.7 million. That's what it comes down to. So I can't have my number one guy disappear. You've got to be present at all times, Mr. John Brown. If you want us to consider the Bills fan base, you want us to consider you the guy, right? Because right now, ain't nobody talking about you being the guy. You're a guy. Can you be the guy? That is to be determined. We can see that in the second year. We're going to find out, right? So to me, those were my pointers on John Brown. He's got great ability to get down the field. His route running ability could be a little better. That's just me. But nonetheless, still a damn solid receiver. And I'm glad that we brought him in at only $9.7 million for our number one guy. So that in itself, John Brown. Now, is he part of the process? Is he a project? Or is he a problem? Let's keep it a buck here, people. He is part of the process. We see him part of the process for at least the next 2 years. So let's get used to it. John Brown, Smoke Brown, process guy. He is part of the process. Moving on to the next guy. My man Cole Beasley, the X factor on the offense. I'm still sticking to it, but I might have to change my thoughts because I'm in love with the running back position and Devin Singletary is my dude. But anyway, nonetheless, let's get into Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley. $7 million against the cap. I was glad that we brought him in. It's been a minute since we've had a slot guy that we can depend on, right? A guy that you know that he will beat any linebacker there is. He will beat any slot receiver there is. It's a matter if our quarterback sees him because he gets open. That's what he does. He's the new 7-Eleven, right? We had 7-Eleven back in the day. He is our new 7-Eleven, and that's the way I look at it. So the good and the bad about Cole Beasley, right? Here it is. He's a slot master. That's his position. Don't expect him to go wide out. He is and will remain in the slot. He's a stick mover. You need that 3 to 4 yards. You need that 6 yards. You need that 2 yards. You go to Cole Beasley. He will get you the yardage that you need. That's simple. It's that simple. We just need to build that chemistry between Josh Allen and Cole Beasley. Them going into second year together is only going to build upon that chemistry. By the way, there's 94 people in this bitch. Shout out to each and every one of you. If you guys are new to this page, please click that like, subscribe. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. I can taste it. I can taste that bitch. Anyway, moving on. If you guys are not subscribed, click that subscribe. You will not be sorry. All right. So moving on. He's a stick mover. He's a slot master. Chemistry needs to be built between the two of them, because if that happens, that is an integral part to Josh Allen's development, Josh Allen's ability to become a star in this league, right? But for you to become a star in this league, you got to trust the guys that you're throwing the balls to. So that way, you're not even thinking about things. It's just on a dime, on a rope, and you're not even thinking about it. It's on the money. And that's what we need between those two, especially because there are going to be times where we need that short yardage, and it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, right? John Brown's been double teamed. We need that slot. Take advantage of the corners, take advantage of the linebackers. You have a guy in Cole Beasley that can do that. So Cole Beasley, is he part of the process? Is he a problem or is a project? I think we can all agree that my man Cole Beasley is a process guy. We brought him in for a long term. I mean, shit, he's got a bigger dead cap than John Brown at $4.5 million. So you know he ain't going nowhere. So my guy Cole Beasley, the X Factor, my man is part of the process. Shout out to my guy Cole Beasley. Now here's where things start to get a little tricky. Andre Roberts, specialist, a return specialist, Pro Bowl, might I say, specialist. And let me put it this way, man. He's got yak ability, whatever you want to call it. Put the ball in his hands and he can make things happen. But the problem is he's not that guy that you depend on. Can he do the job? Yes. But can you depend on him? Is it reliable? Not like your John Browns or your Cole Beasleys. You can sparingly put him in, but that's as far as it's going to go. However, he gives us the ability to flip the field when he's returning kicks and punts. And what that means is this: if we are backed up into our end, right, they punt the ball, he has the ability to bring us at least to midfield. So that way it gives our offense some breathing room, some ability. Nothing worse than when you get pinned back, when you have Micah Hyde returning punts, or when freaking Fred Jackson was returning punts. I actually hated when Fred Jackson was returning punts because he wasn't returning punts for him to be a threat. He was returning punts just to secure the thing. But we're at our own 15-yard line. So with a guy like Andre Roberts, you know, A, he can take it to the house, and B, he can give you an ability to at least give you the breathing room that our offense so desperately needs sometimes, because sometimes we are lackadaisical when it comes to moving the damn ball Sometimes we just can't. 3 and out. So when you give yourself the ability to get at least into the other half, now you have the ability to move the ball. At least we'll get a field goal out of it. Right? Points is what we need. That's what we got to take care of. So Andre Roberts, process, problem, or is he a project? I think we all can agree that my man is a part of the process. A return specialist, 2-time Pro Bowl, right? You can't go wrong. Bring his ass back. Let's get it. And let's actually get a damn kickoff, damn return to the other side, man. I feel it. It's coming. Every time he damn touched the ball, I knew something was coming. So shout out to that. By the way, there's 95 people in this room. Let's boost that shit up to 150 people. Let's go. So we got Andre Roberts, we got Cole Beasley, we got John Brown. Those are the 3 locks for me on this team. Now here's where shit gets a little tricky. We're at the bottom half of this receiving core. And in my opinion, all 3 guys that are at this bottom may not even be on this team start of the season. We might have 3 brand new, fresh receivers coming from the draft and coming from free agency. But right now, we've got to deal with what we have right now on this roster. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get to the bottom half. Ray McCloud. Okay, Ray McCloud. High hopes for him. He got drafted in the 5th round, 6th round when he came to the Bills. We had a rollout for him. He was going to be our gadget guy. He was going to be that speed guy in the slot that could just do a whole bunch of stuff, but it just never materialized. Boy was fumbling the footballs. He couldn't catch a damn punt. So we said, you know what? Out you go. He goes to the Panthers, talked a little bit greasy about the Bills. If you guys don't realize, he talked a little greasy about the Bills. And then what do? We bring him back, but he was on the practice squad. Now, here's the thing about Ray McLeod. He is going to be our gadget guy because right now Isaiah McKenzie was our gadget guy, the sweeps and this, that, and the third. So this is where Ray McLeod comes in. This is where he can redeem himself, what he was supposed to be for the Bills when we drafted him a couple years back. He can now be that guy now because Isaiah McKenzie is a free agent. So I can't see them bringing back Isaiah McKenzie when they have Ray McLeod that was marinating on the damn practice squad all season long. So this is where McLeod can come in and redeem himself and be that gadget guy that we so desperately need, and we know that he can be because the guy has athletic ability. He just has to prove it and has some goddamn confidence in that bitch, man. I'm telling you. So Ray coming to the squad could be beneficial to us, right? He will regain that role. McKenzie is as good as gone. That's my opinion. And hopefully that practice squad did something for Ray McLeod. So if he can come in with that little salary of his, I think we're paying like over $500,000. He can come in and do some work for us. We could benefit on and we can regain the dividends that we should have had going forward from when we brought him in. So Ray McLeod, here's a question though. Is he part of the process? Is he a problem? Is he a project? This is a tough one, man. Because I think Isaiah McKenzie is going to be booted, I for now say that he is a process guy. I think McLeod got drafted by Bean and McDermott. I think they believe in him, and I think they're going to keep him. And I think they're going to try to make things work out. Scott Blakely, what's going on, my guy? Good to see you, my man. Unpopular to the discussion. Bills take Okudah from Ohio State at 22. Receiver in the second round, in my opinion. I'm not mad at that because I don't think we should go receiver in the first round. I like Brandon Ayuk in the second, but I'm leaning towards, and I don't want to get into this, but I'm leaning towards Espinoza. Or I'm still looking at Murray, but I'm gonna have to look into Okudah. I'm gonna look into that name. Thank you very much, Scott Blakely, my G. Welcome to the. I love when you guys tune in and you guys give your takes because I'm not strong on the draft. I'm learning just like you guys, but those that are very strong in it, I'm always looking at all your opinions and I look those guys up. So Okudah, my man Ryan Witt says Okudah is gonna be as good as gone, so he may not even be there at 22. So we're gonna find out. Who's a better prospect, Chason or Espinoza? I like Espinoza, man. That boy's hands are just always moving. They're active and batting hands down. So maybe that's what we need. But let's not get into that just yet. Let me just continue with that, and we can take some questions afterwards. So Ray McLeod, process, problem, or project. For now, he's process because I don't think Isaiah McKenzie's coming back, and we need that gadget guy unless we find him in the draft. But the draft is way back. We're not talking about draft right now. It's about what we have now and what's in free agency, which I'm going to speak on in just a moment. Now, moving on from my guy, Raymond McLeod. Then we get to my guy, Duke Williams. Let me get into it right now. Process, right? I might be a little biased, but let me tell you why I believe he's a process guy. He's no project. He was a project. He was once a project, but now I believe he's part of the process. He's completely bought into this process. He knows what needs to happen. And I think he's the guy that we need. But let's talk about it, right? Great potential. He's got great potential. He could be way better than he is right now, right? He just needs a little more confidence in himself. And once he gets more time on the field, I think he can be a very big piece for the Bills this season, right? Let me tell you something. Do you know who had the most targets in the playoff game? And I'm not talking about regular season game. Playoffs. The playoff game. Right? Where everybody's got to step their game up. Duke Williams had 10 targets that game. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, he had 10 targets, but he dropped 3. I get it, or dropped 4. But the point is, your quarterback, my quarterback, our quarterback was confident enough to go to him 10 times. What does that tell you? That tells you there's a chemistry between the two. So could you imagine if you played from week 1 to week 16? How that could have materialized, but we sitting here bullshitting with him on the sideline, marinating. Come on, brother. You guys know better than that. You guys are smart people. Duke Williams, in my personal opinion, is part of the process. And I think more time on the field, more time with the quarterback, he could be just as good and just as a target like any of the bigger guys that are out there, right? So 10 targets in the playoff game. If he stays lean in the gym, gets a little quicker off the line, boy, that boy could be a problem. I'm telling you right now, he could be a problem. The thing is, I don't like his lack of concentration on certain balls. He gives you great catching, on tough balls, and then he'll drop the easy one. We're like, come on, bro, you got to get that. So concentration, a little more leaner in coming into the offseason. Yo, I think we have a special one in Duke Williams, but that's just me. That's just me. I might be a little biased, but it's just what I see. When what I saw was someone that is motivated, is hungry, and chemistry with the quarterback in a short little time. Right? They didn't spend that much time together. The guy was on the practice squad being thrown at by Davis Webb and Matt Barkley. Let's keep it a buck here, people. I'm just saying. So, by the way, if you guys are new to this page, this is the Buffalo Fanatics. I'm your boy Rico. I'm on fire right now. We getting lit up right now. Click that like, subscribe to the page if you haven't. Let's get this shit to 10,000 subscribers. I think we're like 9,300 or 9,400. Let's get it up there. We need to get up there. All right. Excuse me, 94.9. We're at 99.4. Right now, we're close. We are close. So, Duke Williams, process. Here we go. Moving on to the next one. Last one on the list. Nick Beasley. Now, a lot of people, they don't know who Nick Beasley is. Nick Beasley was an undrafted receiver, I believe, out of Iowa. I think it was Iowa. One of those little small schools, right? Iowa's not a really small school, but you catch what I'm saying. Not a very popular school. So, my man is a Cole Beasley clone. And that is why they kept him on the practice squad, because if something were to happen to Cole Beasley, my man Nick Beasley can come in like this, and you kind of wouldn't miss a beat. Now he's not a Cole Beasley whatsoever, but he's a clone of him. He's very close, and he gives you a Cole Beasley-like play. So is he part of the process? Is he a project? Let's just keep it a buck. He is a project, and that's why we got him on the practice squad. Will he return to the practice squad? I believe he will. I think we'll keep him there and marinate him, because if at 30 years old, Cole Beasley, you just never know, man. Cole Beasley something could happen, or we have him for the next 2 years, and then Nick Beasley comes in. So we have a guy just sitting on the sidelines, just waiting to get his turn. But right now, it is not his turn. So right now, I'm going to make him a project. So right now, if we recap what we're looking at, we got John Brown, Cole Beasley, process. Andre Roberts, process. Ray-Ray McCloud, for now, process. Unless we can find a gadget guy that we feel is better. But for now, he's a process guy. Duke Williams, process. Nick Beasley, project. Now, all that being said, really and truly, the three people that are locked for this team is Cole, John, and Andre. The rest of them can be cut at any point. Duke Williams might be cut because we may bring in some drafts and be free agency, and we just don't see any need for him. So he could be. So I say these guys are projects at the moment, but they could be cut, all three of them. Ain't nobody coming back, right? We could revamp that whole line. So that's the way I look at it, right? Scott Blakely says, totally agree on Duke. We have no idea once he has a full year creating the continuity, he will be our next. Listen, he'll be on the team next year. Scott Blakely, man, we here, man. Let me get a headbutt from you, man. We got it, man. Straight up. Donnie Brooks says Beasley's 4 inches taller than Beasley, so there's a plus. Oh, shit. I didn't even realize that. So Beasley's a little bigger. I don't know him. Is he? I don't know how tall. Yo, somebody look up how tall Beasley is, because I don't think he's that big. But if he is, that's a plus, because he's just as quick and he can move. He can definitely move. All right. So we know what's on our team right now. But what is out there in free agency? I purposely do not touch draft, because there is no sense in touching draft on potential players. I mean, I could talk about players that I like, but assigning them to my team, I can't do it until we go free agency. Free agency is going to change the whole game up. We all know that. So he's 5'11", 203. Shit, I'll take that. I will take that. 5'11", 203. Shit, we need to keep a look on Nick Beasley right now, because he was making a little bit of noise last year in preseason. So if you guys don't know who Nick Beasley is, or for those that don't know, keep an eye on Nick Beasley, man, because he could push. And but if he pushes too much, man, somebody might take him away from us. I'm just putting it out there. So let's see how this goes. So free agency is on the 18th. I can't remember free agency, but it's coming shortly. It is coming shortly. So here's it. I took a list. I wrote down a list, okay, of the top receiving free agents that are out there. I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. People may think that we have a lot of potential, and there's a lot of people in free agency that are like, man, we should just go in free agency and just spend willy-nilly. I'm telling you right now, if not for 5, maybe 6 to 7 guys, it's slim picking at the receiver position in free agency as of right now. There are going to be some receivers that get cut this year. There will be, right? Cost cutting, big players are going to get cut because of salary, this, that, and the third. But as of right now, free agent receivers, it's slim picking after the first few. So let me name you the free agents that are out there. And then I put stars on the ones that I feel like could be a good fit for the Bills. So here's the deal. So we're going to go into the free agency right now and tell you the top free agent receivers that are out there, and the names that I felt that are up there, and what player could fit on this team. So first, let's go like this. AJ Green. If we wanted to bring AJ Green on this team right now, the market value for AJ Green coming off of injury is $9.1 million. That is coming from Sport Track. So that is not a me number. I'm not making that shit up. It's what Sport Track is saying potentially that it could cost. So if I want to bring an AJ Green to my team, and I'm only got to pay $9 million, sign me the F up. Now, the Bengals are surely not going to just let him walk. They're going to fight tooth and nail to bring this man back. The question is, does he want to go back to a rookie receiver? A rookie quarterback. But Joe Burrows ain't no scrub, so he might want to come back, right? Maybe that rejuvenates his career. Or he's like, yo, give me a team that is surging, that's got a defense, that's got an up-and-coming receiver, and it's got a run game. Hello, the Bills. I'm just saying. So AJ Green on the Bills fixes a lot of needs, right? Think about it. John Brown, AJ Green, Cole Beasley, Andre Roberts. There's your four, right? And then you sprinkle in Duke Williams if you need to. Sprinkle in a receiver in Ruggs or Brandon Ayuk. I'm just saying, think about that for a minute, right? Scott Blake says, we will not get any receiver in free agency. We will get DE and two of them. See, okay, so let me get into the list, right? So AJ Green, Emmanuel Sanders. I can't see that happening, right? Paul Richardson, Brashad Perriman. That's an interesting name. I put an asterisk next to him. Robbie Anderson. Now, a lot of people may hate on this one. I kind of like Robbie Anderson. He's got length. He's got speed. And he can get downfield. And he's a decent receiver. And he's a threat at the end of the day. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of is he's asking for $12 million a year. I don't know if I could get away with giving him $12 million a year. I know it's low as compared to all the bigger guys, but like you have a guy like Cooper that's asking for 19, and Cooper is much better than a Robbie Anderson, but a Robbie Anderson asking for $12 million a year. I don't know about that. So I might skip on that, right? But I actually am intrigued with his skill set, and his skill set could work with the Bills. I just don't like that price number, right? So Robbie Anderson, Geronimo Allison is one of the receivers out there. Nelson Aguiar. I would pass on Nelson Aguiar. His drops don't do it for me. I'm a no for that. Rashard Higgins, Keelan Doss is an interesting one as well. Ryan Grant, Laquan Treadwell. And then I've got Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard is one that I really like. Big body. I think he came out of the same school that what's-his-face came out of, the Cyclones. I don't remember what the name of that team is, but I think they're called the Cyclones. But anyway, Alan Lazard for the Packers, I just can't see the Packers letting him go. He came on at the end of the year, and him and Rodgers started to connect. So Iowa State, thank you very much. So Lazard coming out Iowa State, I cannot see them letting him go. But if they were, wouldn't that be a big piece? 6'5" can get downfield, and he's a big body. He will muscle you for that ball. Go up and get it type of receiver. That's what we've been asking for and looking for. So potentially that could work, right? So let me read some of the comments you guys. Richard Cartagena says, you don't want Cooper? I'm not mad at that because I'm not a big fan of Cooper myself, personally. And apparently he doesn't want to come to Buffalo because Buffalo's too cold. Bitch, what is wrong with these soft-ass dudes talking about Buffalo's too cold? Chicago's cold. Green Bay is cold. Philly's cold. Pittsburgh's... What's wrong with y'all, man? Cleveland's cold. Like, yo, shut the hell up, man. It's like they don't know geography, or they're just paying attention just to TV. That's it. And they're hearing the bullshit that people talking about. I get sick and tired of that shit, man. Bunch of little bitches playing games, man. You want to play football or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck? I don't want to go and play in the cold, man. You're a little punk, man. We don't need your ass anyway. I'm not even a big fan of Cooper. Anyway, that's just me, though. So looking at this receiving free agency, there's nothing out there other than AJ Green and I mean Alan Lazard and maybe Emba Edatawo. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He came out of Syracuse. I could fuck with that, but that's just more of a piece to bring in to see what he's got, right? But nonetheless, my man Richard Catini says, "Yo, get yourself a damn jacket." Straight up, man. Get yourself a damn jacket, man. These guys are too soft out there, bro. I'm telling you. So when I look at the free agency list of the receivers that are out there, and there's a whole bunch of others, but these ones, the ones that stood out to me, they're like, all right, well, like how would they look with our receiving squad? Then I look at how deep the draft is going to be. Man, I'm drafting 2. If we were able to draft 2 tight ends, think about this. If we were able to draft 2 tight ends, why the hell would we not draft 2 receivers? With how deep this receiving draft is going to be, well into the 3rd round, you can still get a damn productive receiver. Man, I'm drafting 2 motherfuckers. I'm telling you that right now, straight up and down. Game Touch TV, I see you, bro. So to me, I'm not touching. If it's not AJ Green, don't even talk to me about no receivers in free agency as of right now. There's gonna be guys that get cut that might be potential, but as of right now, nothing stands out to me right now. Michael White says, Rico, what about Mike Evans? Mike Evans would be nice, but I think he's still under contract. He's still under contract, and I can't see what. Like, you guys gotta think of it this way, right? Let me talk about like one of our best players on the team, Trey White. Other teams talk about Trey White. Let's just say Trey White was free. Are we just gonna sit there and just let Trey White walk? Hell no, we're not. So why would they let a guy like Mike Evans walk? Like, they're not letting Mike Evans walk. They don't got anybody that can just come over and take over for Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a nice receiver. He's nice like that. They ain't letting that man walk. As nice as it sounds, it ain't happening, people. And as deep as this damn receiver, it's not a good time to be a free agent receiver. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It is not a good time to be a free agent receiver because the depth at receiver in this draft, bro, you're gonna try to restructure. You gotta take the hometown discount. Do what you gotta do, right? Now, most people might say, but you know what? These guys are unproven. These rookies coming in are unproven. Fair. That is fair. But some owners are going to look at, you know what, but we can try and get the money's worth, right? I'm not going to pay you a whole bunch when I can get that production from somebody in this draft. That's just the way I look at it. But it's just interesting to see that. Let me look at some of your questions. Donnie Brooks says, Ngakoue is the only big name worth paying big money for, in my opinion. And Ngakoue could be a nice pick, man. 6'2", 240-ish. I think he's taller than that, actually. But I wouldn't be mad at that, man. But to me, this ain't about the defense, because I promise you I will get into the defense when it's time for the POP. But right now, when it comes to receiving squad, is this. Process, Duke Williams. Process, John Brown. Process, Cole Beasley. Process, Andre Roberts. Project right now is your Nick Easley's, and half project and process is Ray-Ray McCloud. But the only reason we have it that way is because Ray-Ray McCloud, he's a gimmick guy. He's going to be a gimmick guy. He's not a guy you need to line up at receiver. He's not that guy. He's your gimmick. Give him a little toss sweep here, give him a little jet sweep there, and that's it. That's what you got. Now, there are 2 guys I didn't name that are free agents currently that could potentially be brought back. And that's Isaiah McKenzie and Robert Foster. Robert Foster did him no help. This was the year that Robert Foster was supposed to at least build on what he did with Josh Allen the year previous. But he comes in and poo-poos the bed all year long. And we made excuses for him. Excuse me. We made excuses for him all year. Oh, wait till he's healed up. Wait till he's this. Oh, he just needs more time. Oh, he's really doing a good job on special teams. That was my favorite, by the way. He's really doing a good job on special teams. And then it benches his ass for the playoff game. But we really need him. He's a great gunner. And you got benched, right? Inactive. Let's keep it above people, man. Like, he wasn't as important at that special teams position as people may think. Because if he was, they would have loved his ass and in the playoffs as a gunner. But they didn't. They wanted something on the offensive side of the ball. A spark. Right? Something that he was supposed to give us that he never did. And we still to this day do not understand what the hell is going on with that man. So with him being on the sideline or whatever you want to call it, he is a major problem, and they don't need to bring him back at all. Don't even bother. This draft is way too deep for you to even consider bringing Robert Foster back. He didn't do it. He didn't do it for you. You know what I'm saying? He's got his own coordinator that he was with in college, and he still wasn't able to come through. You're done. You're done, son. So to me, you out. It's over with. And we're moving on to the next. So right now, we have to focus on what's coming to the draft. And right now, it's deep. It's super deep. And I'm still doing my homework on these receivers right now, but you got the Pittmans, you got the Ayoks, or I don't even know how to pronounce this man's name, right? I got people saying that Henry Ruggs might fall to 22, right? CeeDee Lamb could fall to 22. I have no idea. But if it's me choosing a receiver, I'm not going in the first round for it. I'm going to wait to the second. I need to build my defense, man. I need to build my defense, continue to make it strong. And right now, where we need our help is on the edge. We need a pass rusher, and that's exactly what we need. So that's what we need to go and get. And then in the second round, we can focus on getting all the receivers that we need. Or, McDermott and Bean are not going to use all 9 picks. Let's all keep it a buck here. They are not using 9 picks this year. So you best believe they will be trading up to make something happen. Now, I'm not saying they're trading up in the first round, but I'm talking about second or third. They might go defense in the first 2 rounds, or might even go defense and then O-line in the first 2. But even at tackle, it's slim pickings after 1 or 2 picks. So this is going to be interesting, man. Michael Pittman, I like a lot. Michael Pittman, Young King says Michael Pittman in the second. Shit, I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm a trap Deadpool. I see you, man. By the way, for those that are tuning in, there's 114 people. This is the Buffalo Fanatics. I'm your boy Rico. We talk about receivers for the Buffalo Bills and what we have on this team. Who is a process, who's a project, and who's a damn problem. And right now, as of right now, I already named who the process and the problems are. So right now, we're just looking at how we can fill in the rest of the spots on this team come draft time. Game Tuss TV, call-ins tonight. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do call-ins tonight. I'm going to turn my shit on right now. If y'all want to call in, y'all know the number. If you guys are members of the big squad, y'all know what to do. Give that number a call right this second, and we're going to take phone calls, man. Let me take my damn headphones off because I won't be able to hear anything. Here we go. So forgive me. The mic is not on right now, so it's going to sound very echoey in the room, but y'all know what it is. It's not my setting. You already know that's what we do. Scott Blickett says, I agree with Rick James. What's Rick James saying, man? Let me scroll back. Ray James says, cornerback in the first round. Ooh, I don't know. But we're about to pick up this phone call, see who we're talking to today. Oh, somebody called me, but I couldn't pick up. Y'all need to call again. You need to call again, people. But cornerback in the first round, though? Really? Dude, I don't know about that. Like there's some good depth in free agency, and I'm gonna get to that. But I mean, we still got Wallace. I'm not saying Wallace is some trash, but we still have Wallace. I believe we're going to bring in Josh Norman. That's just my opinion. I think we will bring in Josh Norman. And he's not gonna be the starter, but he's gonna compete. He will compete. And I think we might go call 911 to speak to Rico. You guys stupid. But dude, man, that's the first person I've seen say corner in the first round. That would be such a McDermott thing to do, but I can't see it, man. I can't see it. Don't do it to me. This is Rico, this Buffalo Fanatics. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Rico.
Max. My guy, Max. Talk to me, Max. What's on your mind, bro?
Right. So, the question on your mind is Cole Beasley and John Brown enough for Josh Allen?
Are they enough?
No.
They're not enough. Tell me why.
We saw that last year in the playoff round. Homeboy was chucking it deep to pass to Marco in double coverage because he's got nobody else besides who can go up for a ball. Here's my thing. Where free agency hasn't started yet, and we see all these guys, AJ Green, Amari Cooper, these big name receivers who we think we have a chance of getting, but I mean, let's be real here. Those guys are most likely going to get re-signed by their respective teams. Like those guys probably aren't going to hit the market. But there are some big-time guys. Like I I think there's better chance that AJ Green hits the free agent market than Amari Cooper. And his injury history the past couple of years kind of scares me. But I think somebody we should try and go after. I think we should, I don't know what the cap ramifications are with Tyler Croft, but I think we should try and maybe cut bait with him and look into signing a guy like Austin Hooper.
Okay, so can I rebuttal, sir?
Absolutely.
So if you caught my last POP, I said to bring back Tyler Croft, and I made a compelling enough argument to bring him back. So let me just simplify it by this way. We brought back Trent Murphy because he was coming off an injury. We didn't get his full potential the first year he was with us. He came in the second year and really showed us that, okay, in his second year, healthy, he's a better player. He didn't do great, but he did much better than his first year. Tyler Croft didn't have the time with his quarterback, and we didn't pay him $6 million for no reason. So we can't just cut bait with him that quickly. I think we owe him another year with the quarterback in the same scheme, healthy, in order for us to do something. So having Croft, Knox, and Sweeney, I don't think we need to bring anybody else in at receiver. I mean at tight end. I think we're just fine. It's receiver that we have the problem with. What say you?
I think you did a fantastic job there of debunking my argument. I never really thought about it like that.
You got to.
Maybe not cut bait with him, but maybe just kind of. I guess you don't really want to have three decent tight ends. That doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, you bring up a good point. Receiver wise, though, the thing with John Brown and Cole Beasley, they're both solid players. I think John Brown's a pretty good receiver. Cole Beasley also a pretty decent receiver. Right. I think what they need size. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, they need a big boy. They need a T. Higgins. Freaking, whatever you want to say about him, Des Bryant. I mean, he's a big body. I think he'd be a guy that Josh Allen would like. And I know Des Bryant is a little complicated because he's all over the place. But, we just need somebody who can be that Patrick DeMarco where Josh Allen is going nuts and throwing in double coverage instead of being a 5'11 fullback and be a 6'3 big, strong-handed receiver that can go up there, make that play, get us in field goal range to win and get killed by the Chiefs the very next week.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because you mentioned big body receiver. I know some people are mentioning the name Claypool. How do you feel about, I think his name is Chase Claypool. He's a Canadian kid, actually. So how do you feel about him out of Notre Dame?
Well,
it's a tough one.
I've been focusing on Chenault and Higgins. I've been looking more at big guys.
Yep.
And I don't know how I feel about not going after a receiver in the first round. I mean, because I know Clay, he's a big guy, right? He's like 6'5".
So if you don't, so hold on a second. You don't know about going receiver, or you think we should go receiver in the first round?
Well, I think if you've got a guy, talent that's there, you got to take him. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, well, we'll get a decent player in round 2 or round 3 because.
But it's so deep. It's so deep that we can.
It is deep. You're absolutely right. But think about it like this: 2014, let's trade away. We don't want to take Mike Evans in the top 10. Let's trade back in round 2 and get, Allen Robinson instead. Don't get me wrong, Allen Robinson is a good player, right? But he's not as good as Mike Evans.
Okay.
Or we'll get Jordan Matthews, who was decent with Philadelphia. He was like a 3rd-round pick in that same draft. So it's if you have the chance to take that beast that's going to change your offense, you got to take him, man. You can't try and get a decent, player, because you want that 1,300-yard receiver in round 1, not, a starter in round 1 and then a 100-yard.
So here's where I'm going to put some pressure on, because we could use a 1,300-yard, 1,400-yard, 1,600-yard receiver. But do we have the quarterback that can pump up the volume that way to get that 1,600-yard receiver? So would we be wasting a first-round pick on and giving that much money to a guy in the first round if our quarterback can't produce? He can only go for 3,000 yards? I mean, that's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it now. Now, to debunk what I just said, also is that we got a guy like John Brown that did 1,000 yards with 70 receptions. So if John Brown can get 1,000 yards, if we get a guy that can do it all, maybe he can give us 1,300 yards. But that is if our quarterback can actually take the next step in year 3. That's the challenge. That's the big challenge, man.
Well,
it all comes down to the damn quarterback. If he can come in and do what he's got to do, shit, I'm all with it.
I want you to, okay. They're two completely different quarterbacks, but their upbringing so far has been strikingly similar, and that's Mitch Trubisky. His first year, just like Josh Allen, he was a mystery, bad team. Second year, played on a really good team, on a pretty good team. They ended up making the playoffs, get bounced in the first round, whatever. And they had pretty similar seasons their second year. Like, they improved. I think Mitch Trubisky somehow made the Pro Bowl. I don't know. But his third year, he was terrible. Now, I don't think Josh Allen's going to be terrible, but it's just like people are expecting Josh Allen to take that third step and just be fantastic and, like, guaranteed to be the franchise quarterback. I'm a little hesitant, as always.
And it's okay for you to be, but let's keep it a buck here. We always it's okay to expect your quarterback to develop slowly, right? And that's fine. Rookie year, we don't expect much. Second year, you might get that slump, but third year is when you're supposed to put things all together. Let's seriously, let's think about this. He's gonna have the same offensive coordinator for 3 straight years. He's an improved receiving core last year, and the numbers went up. We're only going to get him more numbers, better receivers this year. So there's only reason for us to think that he's going to take the jump. He needs to take the jump. It'd be a major disappointment if we bolster the damn receiving line and we bolster the O-line and he gives us 3,000 yards again. My man is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Right? And the AFC East is only getting tougher. The Dolphins are ready to load the hell up on everything. They got like freaking 10,000 picks. With a damn head coach that got these guys playing lights out, shit, the Dolphins are coming. The Jets are going to get better, and the Patriots are the Patriots. We can't fuck around, man.
Next year's going to be tough.
Shit.
Next year it's going to be tough. Our schedule next year.
Bro, I didn't even talk about our schedule. I only spoke about the AFC East and who we face. We are facing freaking the Raiders. I think we face. We're facing the freaking the Chiefs. We're facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who else are we facing? Say it again.
We play the AFC West and the NFC West.
Excuse me. We're going to be facing maybe Tyrod Taylor. Who knows? We're going to be facing freaking my man Mahomes. We're going to be facing Goff. We're going to have our hands full. Even with our own division and the rest of the schedule.
Like Tom Brady might be gone though.
Shit, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But listen,
I don't remember who tweeted it.
My man Game Tuts.
I don't remember who tweeted it.
I'm gonna let you go because there's other people calling in. I always appreciate your phone calls, Max. You know what I do, man.
One last time.
Yes, sir.
Can you give a shout out for me?
Yo, I'll give you a shout out. What's up?
Can I get a bing, bing,
bing? Bing, biggity, bing to my guy Max. You know what it is, man. Sean Woods, I want you to call again.
For Zippy, Zach, and Dara.
Zippy, Jack, and Dara?
Yeah, can you get a bing, bing, bing for those guys?
Bing, biggity, bing for my guys and my people's Zippy. I think I heard Zippy, Jack, and Dara. Much love to you. All right, my man. We'll talk soon.
We love it, man.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Can't wait next year.
I appreciate it, boss. That's my guy, Game Toss. Yo, I'm taking another call. Let's go. What's going on? Let's talk. Let me see who's calling right now. I got Syracuse, New York calling me. Let me see if I can pick this bitch up. If it's gonna allow my phone. Whoever's calling me from Syracuse, New York, you gotta call back because my phone is acting up. So I'm gonna just wait on it. So here we are sitting here with a big offseason coming. We have a whole bunch of receivers in this draft that we can take our pick. It's gonna be lights out. This is Rico. This is Buffalo Fanatics. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Rico, this is Sean Woods out of Lancaster.
Sean Woods out of Lancaster, New York. Talk to me, Sean Woods. What's happening? What's on your mind?
So I'm with you on the same page as skipping wide receiver in the first round, trading up in the second round, somewhere between a couple picks ahead just to get a better receiver. There's a better option. I'm thinking Brandon Ayuk.
I'm with you. I'm a fan of Brandon Ayuk, and what I like about Brandon Ayuk is that he gives you route running ability. He gives you yak ability. That's my favorite. Yak. And he can get downfield. And he's not a small guy. I think he's like 6'1". He's like a 6'1".
He's like 6 foot and like some change.
6 inches change. I'll give him 6'1". I'll give him 6'1" because they always make these guys seem taller anyway. So, and the fact that he's able to do all those things, I'm looking for a Deebo Samuels type of receiver. I love Deebo Samuels' game. He does it all, and I need a receiver that can do it all. Sometimes, I mean, think about it. We tried to go with the big time receiver, right? We went with who the hell is Sonic Hedgehog? Oh man, I need to. When you're the only moderator in this bitch, you gotta boot people, put some people on timeout. Hold on, son. Let me put that motherfucker on timeout. I'm sorry. You on timeout, son. All right, my bad, man. So here's the deal. When it comes to that type of chatter, I'm not mad at it, but I like me a guy that can do the yak. We tried the Kelvin Benjamins. We tried the Andre Holmes. We tried the big, tall receivers. That didn't work out for us.
Separation over contested catch any day.
Thank you. Okay, so then we went small. We went small ball, right? Cole Beasley, John Brown, we've had the most success at the receiver. Now, if we can sprinkle in, right, and try to find a balance with some speed and some yak, it's a whole bunch, you need to find that one receiver that can do it all. Maybe it's Brandon Ayuk. Maybe it's Van Jefferson. Elvis Sipek says Van Jefferson might be one. T. Higgins might be another. CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. Like, there's so many damn receivers out there that could do the trick. It's just a matter of where we can find the balance. We just need to find the balance. So do you have a specific receiver that you're looking at right now that you love?
I'm really torn. I'm definitely not on the T. Higgins train. I just think he's not going to have the separation that's necessary in the next level. I do like Laviska Shenault because he gives us that Deebo Samuel effect. We can use him as a gadget play and makes Isaiah McKenzie and Ray McLeod. Both of those would be expendable, but you're also having a high risk with injury as well with that. But I think someone like that, someone that's that explosive but somewhat raw running outside, still could give us a lot of production, especially out of the first year. Get the ball in his hands a lot, but then after year 2, get him the outside a lot too. But still get a lot of value out of him. Just, I don't know if he's going to be there at 22.
So let me ask you this. What is it that you don't like about T. Higgins? Because I heard you don't like T. Higgins. Why not? Because there's a lot of people that love T. Higgins.
I think everyone's just over-exaggerating with the need of size and contested catchability.
I'm with you.
That's my biggest thing. I mean, I heard he has good top speed. I just don't think his agility, his quickness, and separation is going to be that great, and that's what I'm worried about. I just think if we draft from the first round, we're not going to get the juice, like the juice out of
So
what we need out of him for that kind of a position to get the 22 overall.
So hear me out there,
because more valued at the top of the second.
So you mentioned Shenault, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the problem that I have. I love Shenault, first of all. I love what he brings. He's strong as hell. He can take the ball and do whatever. You put him anywhere on the damn field, he'll take it. He lacked production in college, right? That doesn't hinder me, but it's like, if you're the man, you should be giving me more than 700 yards. That's just that's my thought process. Secondly, there was a report that came out that my man he's got some injury issues going on right now. Something to do with his hip, to his groin, to his something. Something's happening where if you already have these issues coming out of college right now, I don't want a Brandon Ayaji. I don't want a what's my man Jay Ajayi type of issue where you come into college and you were already having some injury issues in college, and you're gonna come to the NFL and try to do work. Bro, you already come in bandaged up. Now, some people are saying it's not a big deal. It's just minor injuries. But to me, it's a pretty major big deal. If you already banged up coming out of college and you're not a big time, like you weren't putting up 1,500 yards. It wasn't like you're killing the game. 600-700 yards, man. So that's my pullback from Shenault. I love his game.
I can definitely agree with that. Jefferson out of LSU in the second round after picking Ebenezer up in the first round, defensive end. That'd be my top 2 draft picks.
So what, you'd go Ebenezer and then who?
And then Jefferson, LSU.
Okay. I like that.
If he's still there.
Sean Woods, man, I appreciate that phone call, man. I like that. I like that take. So I want to ask one thing before you leave. Somebody mentioned that we should potentially And I want to see how much steam this is going to pick up. But we should potentially grab a corner in the first round at the 22nd pick. How do you feel about that?
If the value's there, if the player's there, I haven't really reviewed corners quite yet. I just, other than the top guy, if there's a strong case, I think I've seen some draft boards picking us at having a couple of cornerbacks right up on that target range of 22. I think, I mean, if the value's there, go for it.
I don't
you
know.
Go for the best player available.
I don't know if I don't feel the need is there at corner. I don't think it's there. We already have a top corner in Trey White. I mean, we can bring in a guy that already was in the system in Josh Norman. I'm not saying he's going to kill it by any stretch, but he already has a scheme.
How much money
he knows
it
all depends on how much money. You're right about that. But to take a corner in the first round, oh man, that would hurt my head. And that's something I could totally see Brandon Beane and McDermott doing, but I really hope they don't go that route. But listen, man, I'm going to let you go because I got other people calling. I appreciate your call, Sean. Keep supporting the Buffalo Fanatics. I appreciate your love, man. And have a good night, man. Salute.
Go Bills.
All right. I appreciate that, man. That's my guy, Sean Woods, calling through. If you guys are trying to call in and you guys are part of the Bing Squad, y'all know what to do. Hit that community tab for the members only. The number is there. Give us a shout. I'm picking up. We doing big things right now. So we talking right now the draft a little bit. We're talking about free agency. We're talking about the receivers. If you guys are tuning in for the first time and you guys have no idea who this handsome man is, it's your boy Rico from the Buffalo Fanatics, only one of the best brands out there talking football. So we've got big things coming, man. We got the combine is just around the corner, so we're about to find out what's really good. Apparently, there were a lot of measurements that were taken today: wingspan, how tall dudes are, weight, the size of their hands. So there's a whole whack of stuff that was going on today. So I'm looking forward to see who comes out in this combine. Combine is going to be massive. There's going to be a lot of names that rise and a lot of names that drop. I'm looking forward to it. But please, for the love of God, do not grab a corner in the first round. I can't see it, man. If we're going to grab something, grab a goddamn linebacker, grab a defensive end, a pass rushing defensive end, but we just can't go with a corner. Now, I'm one of a few that would love to have Josh Norman on this Bills team. I think he'd be a good fit. He's got length. He's tall. I know he's not the Josh Norman that was there a few years ago. I'm aware. But to me, to have him in as depth, I'm 100% okay with that. Not only that, he's coming into a system that he knows, right? He's coming into a system that he knows. Who do we bring in during the season? I think it was Kurt Coleman, right? Coleman was part of McDermott's defense at one point in his career, and he came in and was all right. So to me, if you've already been part of the system, you already know what it is. All it takes is for you to be acclimated and get back into it. I'm all for it. I am all for it, man. Big Jose, I see you, man. What's going on, Doc? Scott Blake says, Rick James, we're in the same page. What's Rick James saying, man? Scott Blake is agreeing with Rick James. If Trey gets hurt, then what? Okay, listen. If Trey gets hurt, then what? If Josh Allen gets hurt, then what? If Devin Singletary gets hurt, then what? Next man up. That's just the way what it is. Now, I guess your question is, who's the next man that steps up that can really do big things for us? That is a valid question. Because if Devin Singletary goes down, who's up next? Right? If are you okay for Matt Barkley to take over? If John Brown goes up, who's up next? Right? If Deion Dawkins goes down, who's up next? You know that you can't bring in these dudes to the left side. Trey, my man, our second rounder was struggling already at right tackle. You know what I'm saying? So like it's one of those things like next man up is gotta happen. It's just that I just don't think that we go first round corner. Because also what that tells me in the sense of message. What it's telling me in the sense of message, it's not sending me a message that tells me that we're just trying to strengthen our corner. If we bring in a corner in the first round, it's because we are about to let Trey White walk. That's just my opinion. Because you don't bring a first round draft pick and then you have one that you're trying to sign right now. I can't see him letting them walk. Scott Blake says, I disagree, Rico, which is rare, but 2 lockdown corners is significant. No question, Scott, I'm with you. Believe me, I would love that. But how often do teams do that where they go back-to-back? I don't want to say back-to-back, but one that's about to be on his last year of his contract, and you bring in another corner in the first round? Is it because you're ready to let him go, or are you really trying to strengthen and have two lockdown corners? I don't know. It's a tough one for me, man. It's a tough one for me, man, because I would not go that route, but I could totally see Brandon Beane and McDermott doing that, and I would just be fine with it. But I think free agency is the route they need to go and strengthen that core, get guys that believe in the system, that know the system, that can do the damn job, and we strengthen up. Man, I thought I put Sonic on a damn timeout, so I'm gonna have to remove his punk ass, man. I apologize. I'm being moderator and host at the same damn time. So let me put my man. I'm gonna remove my man out there because he's acting like a damn fool. Yeah, I got him. I already booted him, man. Some people, these kids, man, these kids nowadays, I don't get that shit, man. By the way, there's 57 likes in this bitch. There's 100 people in this. Do me a favor, click that like, subscribe. Click that like real quick and then subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're trying to do big things because once we do, we can do so much more. It opens up so many more things for us to give back to the Buffalo Fanatics. So, by the way, somebody asked if I was going to be doing a live draft show. You're motherfucking right, I am. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to try to bring my man Kev on with me. I might even go back. I think we're going to do the draft probably back at his place. So it's definitely going to go down for sure. So, yeah, the draft is going down for sure. And we're working on something. We're working on something right now. It's very, very, very early in the works. Excuse me, but we might be doing something in Buffalo. Find a place where we can have a Buffalo Fanatics draft party type of shit. But it's so early in the works. We're just talking about it right now. That'd be super dope. Shit. I'm just saying, man, maybe I might fly my black ass out there. I don't know. If it works out, it works out. Andrew Bryant says, Schobert from Browns, Buffalo Fanatics. Schobert from Browns. Bryant, Schobert. O-line Schobert? Am I saying that right? I think it's the O-line. Schobert is who you're referring to? Chris Mallow says, nah, because one day we will be damn near 40 mil in two corners. Yeah, I don't know, man. This corner, first round in cornerback, although I understand the thought process in that, I don't know if I could run with that. I can't run with that, man. Why can't we go corner in the second or corner in the third? Why's it got to be the first round? That's what my question is. Why it got to be a first round pick at corner? You feel me? Shit. But I don't mind two lockdown corners. Don't get me wrong. I'd be dope. But think about it. The Browns did the same damn thing. They drafted two first round picks, like I think back to back or in the first 3 years, and one of them freaking was relegated to the bench. So they wasted a first round pick on a corner, and I'm sure they're hurting for that. So I'd rather grab a real deal and go from there, man. I don't know about corner in the first round, but I respect the thought process because I like it. Having two shutdown corners, it allows our guys on the front line, on the front seven, to feast and get after that ass. But I think we can do that just as good without having to get a corner in the first round. Richard Catalina says, Rico, we should draft Pittman on the third and Antonio Golden. And there's another name I've been listening to is Antonio Golden Gandy, I think his name is. I haven't looked at any film on Antonio, but I've been seeing that name pop up way too much for me to ignore. So I'm gonna have to start to look into this Antonio Golden. But Michael Pittman, I already know about him, man. He's a beast. T. Higgins is still a baby, man. He can definitely be another Calvin Johnson. T. Higgins, another Calvin Johnson? Man, Calvin Johnson was a damn physical specimen. No, you can't. I mean, if you're going to give T. Higgins someone, you got to give him something like A.J. Green. Yo, let me give you guys a statistic before I get out of here. There was a statistic that I saw not too long ago that the statistic was out of the receivers that are drafted in the first, second, and third round, all of the successful receivers that have been drafted in the last, I think, 5 to 6 years have mostly been in the third round. Third round. And it's telling me that the value is in the damn third round. That's what I'm talking about, man. So we may not even need to go first round receiver. We could push that bitch to the second and even in the third, especially with how deep this damn receiving the draft is at receiver. I'm just saying, man. Jerome Moore says, Rico, I believe Duke is about to turn up and he became the number one in the playoffs. Bro, you ain't got to tell me nothing about Duke. You already know I'm Duke's. I'm one of Duke's number one fans, man. I'm a big fan of Duke. I'm not sure why I've gravitated towards Duke. I don't know, because he's an underdog and I love underdogs. I don't know. But I gravitate towards Duke, and I think he's going to do big things. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't do well this offseason, gets cut. I'll be sad. But life must go on. Sean Wood says it's a stretch. CJ was amazing. CJ was amazing, one of a kind. Who y'all talking about? CJ who? Bada Bing Crosby says, do your live party in Cheektowaga, Vegas. You want me to go to Buffalo, Cheektowaga, Vegas, or Cheektowaga? I don't know if Cheektowaga is ready for me, man. I might be a little too much. I might be a little too much Canadian for Cheektowaga. That's real. Truth to Heart says, you're right, but that size still is a mismatch. Mismatches are big. You need to have mismatch, but you need speed in this game, man. Speed is the name of the game in this bitch, man. If you got speed, you have yourself something. And if you don't have the speed, you better be a hell of a route runner. You better be a hell of a route runner because that's the only way you're going to get your separation. But if you got neither and you think you're just going to do size, forget about that, man. You ain't even getting off the line. Corners these days, man, they will press your ass up and jam you up. You ain't going nowhere. Look what happened to us when we had Andre Holmes, 6'4", 6'5", right? Benjamin, 6'4", 6'6", excuse me. Bro, we have big dudes that could not get off the goddamn line. No, thank you. Yo, if you're gonna be a big boy, you better have ability to run routes. And if you don't have that, you better be able to get off that line and get downfield quickly because that ball is humming and coming, big time. We need a Henry Ruggs if we need speed. Henry Ruggs got that speed that you don't teach that type of shit. My problem is my man only weighs 130 damn pounds. He's a slim cat, man. I mean, at least he looks 130 pounds. He's probably like 180, right? He's the size. He to me, Ruggs compares to Deshaun Jackson. Those two are in the same, right? And Deshaun Jackson ain't no scrub, but he's not that guy that makes that difference, that big time difference. But he's a difference nonetheless. But are they the same player? They just kind of remind me of one another. But I mean, we'll see. He's a $190. Okay, I'll take that. What is he, like 6 feet, 5'11", 6 feet to a $190, give or take. Chris Matlock says, Chris, I agree. What's Chris saying? Chris, what are you saying, Chris? Chris Matlock says, T. Higgins left the game running a slant in the ship. We'll see, man. Cardell Linder says, yo, if you come to Buffalo for a draft party, I'm there. I'll bring food and drinks. Anybody similar to DK or Stevie Johnson in the draft? Anybody similar to, you know what? See, that's the thing. I'm still learning, people. I'm still learning to see who's out there that's like who. A Stevie Johnson type of receiver, I don't know. I still got to do my homework. I'll never pretend that like I know what I'm talking about. I only speak on things that I know of strongly, but I still got to do my homework on some of these receivers. So don't ask me for that type of stuff, man. Richard Cartagena says we need Henry Ruggs if we need speed. Shit, we gonna need a lot of that, man. We gonna need a lot of that. Yo, come on, man. Who are these people today, man? Bro, some of these people are just have no life, man. Yo, listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for today. I just wanted to come on and chit chat on the receiving core. We will be doing more of these videos. I'm here for another night. I might even do one tomorrow night. So stay tuned because I ain't got shit to do, people. So I'm out here. So I'm going to be touching on the O-line. If I do something, it's going to be O-line tomorrow. We will be talking on the O-line. So who is a project, who is part of the process, and who is a damn problem, right? And we're going to be taking a look at free agent linemen that are out there and see if we can kind of make things happen for this team, right? So without further ado, that is my time, people. It's been real. Before you leave, click and smash that like button before you leave. Let's get these likes up. Let's get the subscribe page up. And we're gonna try to make good things happen, man. I miss Sean. Sean, what you saying, man? Yo, let me get rid of this fool first before we do anything. All right, so we got rid of that fool. Sean Woods. What did Sean Woods say? Sean Woods, the troll is back. Don't worry, I got the troll. I got him back. Sean Woods, 6 feet. Who's 6 feet? Oh, Ruggs is 6 feet? Okay. I'm with you. Chris Matlock says, we don't need super size. We need guys who can run you out of the zone. Bunch of these guys up. Let's get them working. Someone 6'1" with speed can get it done. I totally agree with that. I don't need 6'6", 6'4". I don't need that. I don't need these guys that are super big, man. Give me 6 feet and above. I'm not even 6 feet. 6 feet is close to 5'11". I don't give a damn what anybody tells me, right? 6'1" to 6'2". That's all I need, man. Straight up. That's all I need. Thing is, here's the thing. My brother is about 5'11", 6 feet, but his arms are like this. Like he's got long ass baboon arms. So sometimes these guys that have these big ass wingspans, that's all you need, man. If they got good timing to get downfield and catch that ball, you don't got to be 6'6". We've done that experiment, and it hasn't done well for us. It hasn't. So let's go with guys that can just know the game, they know football, and they just know how to get up and get the ball and do work. Simple as that, man. The fuck is this guy doing back? But anyway, y'all know what it is, man. So Richard Cartagena, fist bump. I got you, bro. So listen, guys, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. The Bing Squad, stay at it because we got big things coming to you guys. I'm going to get back on it. I told you, I promised you I was going to get back on it. So I might see you guys tomorrow. So O-line talk is going down tomorrow. I might even merge that shit with the defensive line. Actually, that's what we're going to do. We're going to merge defense and offensive line tomorrow, the trenches. We talk in the trenches. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Click that like that page, subscribe to the Buffalo Fanatics. It's your boy. Y'all know what it is, man. And I'm gone.